What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Brew Show, where we are drinking brews and talking about it. It is January 10th, 2019, and we got a great show for you today. So let's go ahead and hop right into it. We got Roan. Man, Roan, it's just me and you tonight. It's just me and you tonight. How you doing, man?
It's all good, man. We're going to rock it.
Yeah.
We got a lot of awesome stuff to talk about, man. Actually really excited about the stuff this week. So man, I'm drinking it's Lakewood Brewing out of Garland, but this is their Guns and Hoses All Call Kolsch, which I believe is a Czech beer, which is where my grandpa's from. Kind of cool. Let's give it a listen here. Okay, a little weak, but we'll see how it tastes. Well, yeah, man, let's get to it.
Hey, I like that beer might be a checkmate, if you know what I'm talking about.
Making up for Joe.
Yeah, making up for the juice if that's not here. I am drinking a Fireman's 4 today. Absolutely delicious from one of my favorite breweries in Texas, out of Blanco, Texas. It is a blonde ale, and that sounded fantastic. And we will talk about that one more here in a little bit. So that's
teaser alert. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. All right, that's enough of that. This is what is going on over here? Oh, there we go. Communication errors. Anyway, we're jumping over to disclaimer. Hello.
The information provided on the show does not constitute investment advice, financial advice, trading advice, or any other sort of advice. Crypto Brew Show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Conduct your own due diligence and consult your financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
Hashtag NAFAMU, not a financial advisor. Hashtag BYOB. We did. Did you?
Did you?
By the way, let's drink responsibly out there. I mean, I was actually curious to ask you, Ron, what are the legalities behind our brewness on our show? Do we have to mention that every time?
Nah.
Okay.
Because you have to be 21 to drink, we're speaking to adults anyway. So, and adults, listeners out there, you are responsible for yourself and your own actions, if you did not know.
Just in case you didn't know, you are responsible.
There's the disclaimer right there. You're responsible for your own shit.
Yes, don't be stupid, okay? All right, anyway, moving on to our state of the market. We are sitting that 7-day price graph on that is going straight down. For all you listeners, not looking good out there. We are sitting at a global market cap of 123 billion, 24-hour volume of 22.9 billion, and Bitcoin dominance still sitting above that 50% mark at 52.27%. Bitcoin sitting at the top. Under 4,000. That was our question of the week last week, and interested to see who won that one. But 3,678 we are sitting at, down 4.14% on the 7-day. Number 2, Ripple is back at number 2. XRP sitting at 33 cents, down 7.71%. And Ethereum sitting at number 3, $128.50, down 14.23%. Bitcoin Cash, the biggest loser in the top 5, sitting at $134.91, down 16.8%. And of course, EOS rounding out the top 5, $2.43, down just under 10%, 9.41%. So we're all down. The market's down. It's just we were steady there for a little while, and we just went kaplunk today. So pretty interesting to see what's going on in the market. We're getting some movement. It's nice to see us going somewhere. But, I mean, we're just going in the wrong direction. So, gainers and losers, we got anything special going on over there?
Man, I only recognize one of these, and that is VeChain. So they are in the gainers, which, hey, that's good for them. They are sitting at 0.0066 cents per share. They got a really good, really healthy volume, 12.5 million. And their market cap is 368 million, that's hefty. They're up 40%. That's pretty crazy.
That is crazy.
Our biggest gainer is something called CarryNet. Their volume's only 100,000, so a little sketch there. In CryptGen, number 2, volume is 102,000, sketchy. Top losers, Lendroid Support That's what I'm guessing that word is.
Maybe supply chain?
Supplement.
I've
Yeah, yeah, me. Anyway, they're down 70% volume, $530,000 volume on something I've never heard of. Uh, Hero Node, I know I've heard of that. They're down 30%. Anyway, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
bunch of
like
randos on that list.
VeChain is the only one that obviously that stands out. I mean, it's far and away has the most volume in the market cap. All these other ones you could just kind of throw in the pump and dump schemes, the bots that trade
Yeah,
them. Like
yeah.
it's not really worth talking about. But we like to show you guys the gainers and losers in the last 24 hours. At least, what was that one coin that was always showing up there for like the 6 months of our
man.
show? Like, it's
Was
bad. I don't even remember what it was called.
Was it called like Dash Coin or something like that? It was like a play off of another,
Yeah, I don't
a
know.
real crypto.
At least we're getting some weird ass names, and maybe
Yeah.
we can. Maybe one of these days, one of them will actually be legitimate, and you're welcome.
like Jesus Coin.
But yeah, probably not. All right. Anyway, moving on. Market news headliners. Our first headlines today. This one comes from Medium. Is this the beginning of the end of BTC? We've seen a hefty drop in BTC today and the entire crypto market in general. So, Ron, I don't know what's going on. Is this the end?
So the reason we're sharing this article with y'all, it was written all the way back in October of 2018. The reason we're sharing this article is because it brings up some kind of like behind the curtains insight into what's going on with Bitcoin's development. So if you're not familiar with the history of it, there was this big fork, right? This argument which amongst the developers, that's what led to Bitcoin Cash. And it was just differences in I guess you would say philosophy, right?
Yeah,
So like
they're losing, according
Yeah.
to the developers, they're losing sight of the true vision
Yeah.
of Bitcoin.
So and it's turning out to be so in that Bitcoin Cash is much more viable as a cash system, where you can spend it. Whereas Bitcoin is looking more and more like it's going to be stuck in the store of value, which is actually completely, it's going down the wrong path from its original intentions by Satoshi Nakamoto. So anyway, I just thought it was an interesting insight. That's why I wanted to share this article with you guys. I do suggest you read it because it has some like pretty good insight into like the Lightning Network, and it might make you think differently about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash.
So my question here is, so the argument is we're losing sight of what Bitcoin was supposed to be. We just recently had an interview with Joel Valenzuela of Dash News, and we were actually talking about this very subject, about how in the beginning he was able to use Bitcoin to send just little dollars, cents to people, and whoop, I just moved the slide here, and now it's getting to a point where it's getting too expensive to send the small amount of money that was you were supposed to be able to send for virtually free. But I mean, can Bitcoin not adapt and just make up for that, or do you think where it's Bitcoin now is just a lost cause in the not necessarily a lost cause in the sense of like it's gonna die, but is it just strictly store of value in your mind now, and Bitcoin Cash can be the one? And the second question is, can there be both? Can both survive?
And that's a tough. Can they both survive? Yes. Will they? Doubtful. The more I learn about blockchain, and honestly, the more I think about a future with crypto as being an everyday thing that everyone uses and transacts with, the less I see Bitcoin's path taking them, either Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. I don't see their path as being the leader in that space.
Fair.
Right now, as
Yeah.
things are going right now. But this whole Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash fork, the whole argument was over block sizes. The miners want smaller block sizes so they can get more block rewards, right? More mining rewards. So they wanted smaller blocks. But the smaller blocks were an issue because then you're kind of like restricting the natural growth that Bitcoin was supposed to have. These blocks are supposed to get bigger over time. That's where the Lightning Network is kind of holding Bitcoin back.
Right.
But man, even Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum's looking at, they're targeting 1 million transactions per second. I mean, that nothing is even close to that right now. And
I feel like quite a few coins are targeting that, though. I mean, everybody wants the big number for transactions per second. But I mean, with going back to the whole Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash argument, like, I don't like the politics that are going into that whole debate. I don't necessarily like the people that are running those Bitcoin altcoins, I guess you'd call them.
yeah, Bitcoin Cash is centralized. That's what I don't like.
Right. So I guess where I'm going with this is I would much rather use something like Dash. That is
me too, man.
Trying to be what a digital cash should be. Very private, instant pay, and just low transaction costs. Like, I mean, again, maybe the whole what Bitcoin should have been in the beginning.
Litecoin, throw Litecoin in there too.
Right.
I mean, they're holding true to the Satoshi Nakamoto's original philosophy and thesis, I guess you could say.
Right. So, I mean, in the end, I am 100% fine with Bitcoin just evolving into the store of value, the gold, and then using another cryptocurrency that its sole goal is to be for everyday coffee purchases, lunch, whatever. I'm completely cool with that. Like, why does Bitcoin have to be all of those things? Like, clearly right now, as cryptocurrency and blockchain technology is, one cryptocurrency cannot be all of the things, cannot be a platform, cannot be a smart contracts thing, and a peer-to-peer easy quick payment system, and a store of value, and like there's just not one.
A DApp platform.
Yeah,
well, there is one out there that's trying to do that. And that's Cardano.
Well, true, but we haven't heard much from them either, so there's that. All right, we've that's enough time with this article. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one here. We have Cointelegraph reporting again. Epic Games Fortnite store starting to accept Monero was accidental. CEO confirms. Hello, whoopsies. So,
man,
if
that was such an awesome headline and story, because it said in the article, we covered this in last week's show,
right?
The original announcement. I think it said there was 146 million people that play Fortnite. And then you're saying, hey, 146 million people, we're going to accept crypto.
Just kidding. I mean, in the end, like, it's hard to just not believe that it's just a big publicity stunt, because the CEO mentions in the article, it's like, well, somewhere along the way, the payment option from Monero happened. I don't know if that's a thing. Like, how does that just, like, somewhere along the way? Like, you have to do something to get Monero as a payment platform. Like, you don't just accidentally, it's not like a checkbox where you're just like, we accept Monero. Like,
something happened behind the scenes. It's political or something like that. That's all it is.
It's 100% a publicity stunt. And hey, good for them. Fortnite merch. What is it? Retail Row. Good for you for utilizing some relevant technology for your advantage. I'll tip my hat to that. So anyway, for all you that wanted to use Monero to buy some Fortnite merch, I'm sorry, not gonna happen. But you do have a little light on the horizon. His quote, I believe this was the CEO. Don't quote me on that, but his quote is, "Many of us at Epic are big fans of the decentralized computing tech underlying cryptocurrency. However, a lot more work is needed on volatility and fraud proofing before bringing it to such a broad audience that includes younger gamers." So I can't even really, like, yeah, I mean, he's technically right. Like, things need to happen still in order to bring it to that broad of an audience. So I'm fine with that. It is where it is. All right, moving on to our next article here. This one comes from Medium as well. Texas financial watchdog may recognize stablecoins as money for licensing purposes. Now, we talk about stablecoins quite a bit on the show, and we actually have a distilled thoughts on stablecoins by themselves, where we kind of dive deep in depth on what they are, how they work, and give a few options about, the ones that are out there. But I mean, we're from Texas. This is pretty exciting, right?
I mean, yes and no.
Wow, way to pop my bubble.
Dude, it's so in this article it shows like Wyoming had the same situation happen, and Coinbase actually had to withdraw from Wyoming because of this exact same thing. So if this ends up going through, it could pose a lot of issues for all of us in Texas who are using exchanges officially, right? But like Wyoming ended up saying, "Oh, hey, we weren't doing this to target crypto and exclude people," and Wyoming ended up passing legislation to exclude crypto from this particular type of regulation. But however, a stable coin is a little bit different from your regular, like a Monero or Litecoin, because it's directly tied to fiat. And because of that, it's possible that, like Tether, for example, Tether is promising that you can redeem this Tether for $1. And so that's where the issue is with this. Haven, that's one of my favorite projects for stablecoins. They just rebranded to Synthetics. Their stablecoin is actually just based off of, it's not backed by dollars. It's backed by one of their other coins. So I don't know if that one would fall into this category, like Tether or what. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't really mention in the article, what stablecoin they're talking about. They just kind of blanket statement stablecoins. But I mean, regardless of how true this is or whether or not it passed, I still am excited. I want to be able to eventually pay my taxes in crypto, and if I have to use a stablecoin to do so, I am completely willing, because it's very easy at this point to go from any normal crypto to a stable coin. I mean, if you know what you're doing, it's not that difficult. There's plenty of apps out there that allow you to transfer one crypto into another as a stable coin. So I'm excited. I like it, in the end, as we have there, Texas takes 2 steps, a little pun on the whole 2-step. Terrible pun. But I like that we're still heading in that direction. We're done with the rhetoric of, hey, crypto's a scam, crypto's this. Like, I don't remember the last time.
It's for criminals and terrorists.
Right. I don't remember the last time I actually read a legitimate article that has legitimate fact on those, subjects. So I'm super excited that people are still moving forward and trying to figure out the best use cases for the things that we are passionate about, and that is our money and controlling it ourselves and not having a centralized authority tell us how we could spend it or how we could use it. It's just exciting. So
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, this is a step forward in getting crypto regulated. You know, I hate that has to happen, but for there to be progress, especially at an enterprise level, we have to have legislation around crypto. So in that regard, this is a step in the right direction.
yeah, no, I mean, I agree. I mean, in the end, we're gonna need regulation for the big dogs to come in, and
Big dogs.
it is what it is. Like, we can't stop regulation from happening. People are greedy MFers, so they want their take too, and they're gonna try and regulate it and benefit them in the most. And I mean, there'll always be ways around it. There'll always be ways to, follow it. We'll just have to see what happens. I think 2019 is gonna be super exciting.
Man, you know what just hit me on this is if the Texas Department of Banking considers stablecoins money, that means Texas says it's not a security. So that's interesting too.
True.
That could have future connotations. But, man, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll keep
I heard Texas Department of Baking, I think. That's what I heard you say there first. I was like,
yeah,
what?
Texas Department of Banking. Yeah.
I heard
baking.
Baking. I was like, what are we baking over here? All right.
Brownies, bro. Brownies.
Hey, we're token about it, right? Anyway, we're moving on to our next article. This one comes from Crypto Line, I guess. Crypto Line's icon is not great. Anyway, maybe that was their point. They wanted us to mention them more. So anyway, kidnappers demand a hefty amount in privacy coin for the missing Norwegian tycoon's wife. So normally these headlines would say, hey, we stole your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife, we stole your wife. I don't know. But they would ask for Bitcoin originally. I mean, all the scams out there, all the TV shows, everything that mentioned crypto immediately go to Bitcoin. We want Bitcoin. But as it turns out, Bitcoin is not as private as some people might think. I mean, obviously it is an open ledger. It can be seen by anyone. The very first transaction in Bitcoin can be traced all the way up until now. If you go back, and these law enforcement agencies are coming out with algorithms to track what Bitcoin is going where. They might not know who is behind the Bitcoin address, but they know where that Bitcoin is going. And there's also other things that could happen to where they could associate IP addresses to your location, and they could find out if they really need to. So now kidnappers are trying to get smart and be like, hey, we're going to use Monero instead. We don't want to be tracked by Bitcoin because we know theoretically it could be tracked to a certain extent. So we're going to use Monero where it cannot be tracked. So what are your thoughts on these guys trying to up their game?
This is another one of those stories that kind of puts crypto in a bad, dark web criminal light.
I disagree, but keep going.
I'm talking about to the general public, but anyway,
the
I don't know,
ignorant
man.
perception.
I think that stuff like this has been happening for thousands of years and is gonna happen in the future, and it has nothing to do with crypto. I mean, maybe it's more convenient for the kidnappers, but this shit's gonna happen regardless of crypto existing or not.
Right.
So I mean, that's what I mean. It's just like, to me, I just see a story about somebody being kidnapped.
Okay, so fair. So well, we pivot there then. So my question to you then is, your wife, what happens? Like, what if this was you? Like, what if this headline was about you and your wife? Would you pay? Like,
All right.
if you were in that scenario?
I got you. This is when you bust out the strategery. So you pretend like you don't know what Monero is, right? So you buy some physical Monero coins on Amazon, put them in a box, and ship it to them. Be like, hey, here it is. But one of the coins is really a tracking device, and then the assassins that you hired follow them and take them out. And then after they're dead, then you pop in, bust in, untie your wife, and you're the hero. Boom.
And you're like,
Done.
give me back my Monero. Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly how Monero works, but yeah, you're right. You're right. That might work. Maybe they don't. I mean, yeah, it's pretty far fetched. I like it though. Uh, but okay, so going back to the real quick to the original point there about how it kind of sheds a bad light. I think that, I mean, granted, the ignorance out there that would rather not learn about technology or not learn in general and just want to read the headlines and go with what the media and news tell them are going to be like, yeah, crypto's bad. Only the kidnappers use it. Okay, that's fine. But there's a reason why the kidnappers use it. Because it's easy. It's, in Monero's case, untraceable. You can send it to anyone. You don't have anyone sitting there telling you how you can spend your money. I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about in the previous article. I mean, you can, it's just easy. You can't, it's untraceable in this regard. I mean, there's a reason why the bad guys want to use this, but there's also a legitimate reason why good people would want to use this as well. So
Yeah, I know, man. I agree 100%.
right, but I wanted to mention that. I know there are plenty of people out there that are going to see this article and be like, "Oh, crypto's in the bad guy news again," and I'm just like, "No, dude, you got to understand. Like, there's a reason why they're using it is because it's easy and it's like you could send $100,000 across the world for pennies on the dollar." And no one's going to tell you not to or why you're doing it or whatever. Like, so anyway, I feel for this family and hopefully this turns out to be okay. And, you know, we want them obviously for them to be reunited. But yeah, it's pretty interesting that as far as the crypto side of it, that they're trying to do Monero instead of Bitcoin. So, alrighty. Our last,
Yeah, I know. I agree, man. You're like looking at the silver lining that's like underneath.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're like reading between the lines.
yeah.
You know, and I agree with all that, man. 100%.
Yeah. All right, moving on to our last article today. It's from Cointelegraph. This one is crypto platform Tron. Oh, Tron, always in the news.
Tron.
Hires former SEC attorney as first chief of compliance. Now, as much as
Pretty legit.
as much as I try not to talk about Tron, it just keeps showing up. And I don't know if that's because Justin Sun, the CEO of Tron, is just a master marketer or a master manipulator or what. But Tron had a bad rap in the beginning about forging white papers and this and that and just not being a legitimate crypto. But I mean, after the acquisition of BitTorrent and other, big things in the space, and I mean, they just said they celebrated their 1 millionth user account last month. Is it time to start throwing Tron on the legit crypto table? Like, what do you think?
Man, I honestly don't know the answer to that. I'm fairly familiar with Tron's like their goals, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to become. And it's super ambitious, super ambitious. If they can make it work, they're going to be like Facebook big, they'll be huge. I don't know. I stopped keeping track and researching Tron. just honestly, man, there's just so many exciting projects out there that this one just kind of fell by the wayside for me in the last like 6 months or so. As far as the SEC attorney goes, I don't know how to view that because I don't know how a SEC compliance officer could tell Tron anything different than an attorney who specializes in securities, who didn't necessarily work for the SEC, but that's the niche that he chose, right?
So they were looking for a headline.
That exactly. That's my point. Yeah. So that, and I don't know.
Yeah,
It does kind of seem like that, but that also seems pessimistic to assume that.
yeah.
'Cause, look, obviously this guy is hugely beneficial to any crypto team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a wealth of knowledge, and maybe he has the foresight or possibly even the knowledge to say this is what's going to happen with crypto in the U.S.
Right. No,
So we'll see.
there's certainly some benefit, obviously, for Tron. Like you said, it's interesting. It's interesting. We'll see what happens. I mean, in the end, it's one of those wait and see. I mean, they've had, like I said, they had a bad rap in the beginning, but they continue to do interesting things that may or may not pan out. We mentioned earlier in the show that some cryptos try to be the all-in-one crypto, and I feel like Tron is trying to do too much. They're trying to be the decentralized internet.
Yeah.
They're trying to be, this and that, the DApp platform, the peer-to-peer crypto, or the exchanges and currencies. So I don't know. I feel like they're trying to do too much. Like, why not just be good at one thing rather than be okay at everything? So we'll see. It'll certainly be interesting. I mean, they'll definitely stay on our radar, and we'll definitely keep up with what's going on. So,
Yeah. I don't know. See, dude, this kind of confuses me even more now that I think about it, because when they acquired BitTorrent, part of their goal is to like take over media, like YouTube, right? So and they want to mix like Facebook with YouTube, right, and get like throw it all out there,
right. Avoid censorship.
and they acquired BitTorrent. And you're like, oh shit, they're gonna make this happen, right? But then they do this, and why does a media platform need a securities attorney? I don't know.
Yeah, definitely
Ponder that.
Definitely things to think about. Alrighty, moving on to our beer of the week. As I mentioned at the beginning, it is Fireman's number 4 Blonde Ale. This one comes out of Blanco, Texas. It has an ABV of 5.10%. It's probably one of my favorite breweries and beers in Texas. It is named as a tribute to our good friends and badass bike makers at Fireman's Texas Cruiser, and because it was the 4th year-round beer we created, Fireman's number 4 is our most popular and best-selling beer to date. This is from the website, with an ever-drinkable balance of smooth malt and zesty hops. This refreshing blonde is perfect on a hot day or paired with spicy food. I could attest to that. It's no wonder why so many Texans love it. Take one for a spin at a watering hole near you. If you are looking for an awesome bike, we invite you to check out Fireman's Texas Cruisers. So, yes, Fireman's 4 is delicious. It has IBU of 23. They've won a couple medals in 2012 for the silver medal in Gold or Blonde Ale, Great American Beer Festival, and 2017 silver medal winner, Gold or Blonde Ale, Great American Beer Festival. So they'll be looking for their gold here soon. I give it a 5 out of 5 as far as our hop score. I love it. I look forward to drinking it.
Really good beer.
So yeah, you tried it?
Yeah. Oh, of course, man. Dude, actually, by pure coincidence, the beer I have, the All Call, it's a tribute to policemen and firefighters.
Boom. Look at that.
Guns and hoses.
There you go. But anyway, yeah, if you guys see Fireman's 4 by Real L in your shops, give it a whirl. It is definitely smooth drinking. It's, it's just what you would expect out of a blonde ale. So give it a try. Check it out. Fireman's 4 by Real L Brewing. Okay, question of last week. We hit on, does Bitcoin break the 4K mark by next week? I said just the tip. Just the tip.
That's exactly what he said, too.
It felt like we're just gonna crest over. And Jojo and Roan were on the same page as far as saying, absolutely not. We are going down, not necessarily going down. We just weren't going to hit the 4K mark. And what happened? Hello, just the tip. We barely crest over that. I mean, okay, so here we go. Let's be honest here. When we're right, we're going to mention it and we're going to flaunt it. And I'm going to be like, hello, everybody. Cheers. But when we're wrong, we're just going to pretend it never happened. Right. So it is what it is in that regard. But we did hit just a tip above $4,079. And yeah, that's what happened last week. So I will get the virtual brew this week. Finally dethroned Joe. He's been winning a lot. So blah. All right. This question of this week will be, what will the flippening percentage be between BTC and ETH by next week? For anyone that doesn't know what the flippening is, it's just a word that was created that means the switch of market cap of Bitcoin and another coin. Right now, the closest coin to Bitcoin, I guess technically is Ripple or XRP, but Ethereum,
yeah, they're like neck and neck.
Yeah,
and Ripple. They keep like doing this.
Yeah, they keep
like
switching
back and forth. Yeah.
But right now, we're just gonna go with Ethereum. So, I mean, we're assuming Ethereum is gonna overtake XRP again. So by next week, Ethereum and Bitcoin, what will the percentage be as far as market cap in the flippening? Right now, it's sitting at 21%. Roan, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna go with 21.8.
That low? Okay.
A little bit of flip. Just the flip. Just the flip.
Just the flip. All right. I'm going to go with
Bro.
What?
Do it. 100% do it.
I'm the proponent against the flippening, so that ain't ever gonna happen. So I'm gonna go with 23%. I'm gonna say we're going opposite. Opposite.
No, that 23% would be 3% more of Ethereum taking over Bitcoin.
Oh, you right. I'm gonna go 18%.
3%? Damn, dude. Going hard. Hard.
Hey, that's going to happen. All right. That's what it is. We want to know what your thoughts are on the flippening percentage between BTC and ETH. Let us know in the comments down below. But, I mean, that's about it. So that is our show today. Roan, any last-minute comments or concerns?
Take care out there. Stay tuned. And we'll for sure bring y'all any updates to topics we've already covered, and of course the hottest headlines. We'll be dropping them right on your ears. Take care, y'all.
Them ears. All right, guys, make sure you check out our most recent interview with Joel Valenzuela of Dash News. It's a good one. He talks a great deal about Dash and how to live off of crypto. We appreciate you guys coming on the show and listening to us. Thanks for watching. For more videos, check out www.cryptobrew.show. You can support the show by liking and subscribing. We will see you guys next week. Cheers.
Peace.